Golf has a reputation of being a leisurely sport for old, rich snobs. And sure, there are plenty of those in the sport. And there are many that feel they have to upgrade their equipment every 6 months to get the latest and greatest, or those that pay tens of thousands of dollars in memberships and green fees. However, I learned to golf with a hand-me-down mismatched set of golf clubs and played on a local dog track that I could pay 9 holes walking for about $5. It was an executive course with only a single par 5. One round, I hit a decent drive on that par 5 and landed in the right edge of the fairway. As I was avoiding the aggressive Canadian geese as I walked up to my ball, I grabbed my Ram 5-wood that I got from my brother. As I stepped up to my ball, I had failed to notice that the joint between the club head and shaft had become loose. And as I took a big swing, I saw something fly off into the distance. Except it wasn't my golf ball. It was my club head. It had flown forward probably around 50 yards, and my ball only piddled forward about a few feet. I couldn't do anything but laugh. It's one of my favorite memories golfing, and it wasn't at a top 10 course. It wasn't with a super expensive Pro V1, and it definitely wasn't with the newest equipment. Just going out and enjoying the game and seeing the humor in the situation. So get out there. Have fun. Don't take things too seriously. And don't create barriers in your head of why you can or can't golf. This is For the Record.
Golf, the hardest game we love to play. These are the ramblings of 3 nerdy golfers.
Our continuing mission? Explore strange new swing techniques to seek out lower handicaps and awesome golf courses.
And to boldly swing where a safe layup would have been the smarter choice.
All right, welcome back to For the Record. We have recently returned from our trip to St. George. If you haven't listened to the last episode, please give it a listen. It covers in great detail the plan of what we did. So today we're going to talk about our recap of that. We have a regular round recap for the last round of the season, and then a Talk Nerdy to Me, and of course, a Birdie Bev.
I'm kind of sad.
You're sad?
Yeah.
I think we should title this episode Shattered Expectations, but not in a good way.
Well, we had great expectations.
Great expectations that were then stomped into the
No,
ground.
I'm just sad that we're at the end of the season. It's very real now because as we're recording this, we didn't golf today.
Yeah, it was too dark. It gets dark early these days.
Stupid
So
daylight savings time.
Let's reminisce about the good times when we got our butt kicked.
Let's have a little
In St.
montage
George.
of us talking about.
Yeah.
We had all put in good scores. The last episode we talked about how we put in scores in the GIN app, and that's bringing our handicaps down, and we're so excited to
even
try
on the
some
way
new
to
course.
St. George.
That's and I'm saying we're excited to travel because our handicap travels. The very first course chewed us to bits.
And it's true. But I will say I had a depressed moment after the first course, thinking exactly that same things that we said, our handicap travels and we play a challenging course. And that course is hard.
So for those that may not have listened to the last episode, we played Dixie Red Hills first.
Dixie Red Hills, which is it's just a little par 79 hole course. How hard can it be?
Course rating, though, I mean, as a course from us, I feel we all rated it pretty highly. It is a gorgeous course.
Oh, it's so pretty.
One
It's
of the
so pretty. And it's actually really fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Challenging.
I would play it again.
I totally would. And
we played without any local knowledge, or we didn't have a fourth or a caddy or anything like that. And that would have gone a long way because we didn't know. We kept driving and we're like, we can maybe cover this dog leg. There was lots of dog legs.
Mm-hmm.
Going back, aim for the fairway. Their rough was rough.
Yeah, if you miss the fairway, you're done out there. And I think aside from that course's defense is not distance. It's not a long course. You don't need to hit driver off most of the holes. You do need to find the fairway, though, or you're dead. And in addition to that, the green complexes were incredibly difficult.
They were.
The undulations on the greens were significant, and I think I felt really bad the night after that round, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a fraud. I'm a terrible golfer. I'm never going to be any good.
That's what you were thinking?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about like, man, that pizza was good.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But the pizza did cheer me up significantly. But the course was just very, very tough. Now, after I'd finished that round, though, we talked to a bunch of people in subsequent rounds of golf through the weekend, and every single person to whom we mentioned Dixie Red Hills said the same thing about that course. Oh, man, that one's hard.
Yeah, well, just to give you a little glimpse of it, the first hole is a blind dogleg left. And so you're hitting over a, I don't know, dirt mound, rock, and you kind of guess where you're going. We all hit pretty decent shots. And then our approach, I was able to get on the green, but because of how tiered the green was, it rolled it like 30 feet off. And so it was all of us, I think, double bogeyed on that first hole.
I watched the group in front of us. I watched the guy in the front group and the group in front of us, who was obviously a serious golfer. He hit a great drive. He 5-putted with where that pin was placed. The group behind us, I don't know how many putts it took them, but that girl, and she looked like she could golf, she was on and off the green at least 3 times. She putted herself back off the green and had to chip back on at least 3 times. It was tough where
my
that pin was.
first putt, it was a multi-tiered green, so I had to putt up a tier. I putted, and it was a good 15-foot putt up. It wasn't enough. It rolled back further. So then I just
went past the tier you were on, past the tier below that, past the front of the green, off the false front, back down into the edge of the rough.
My favorite is what Eric did after that.
I got up and I smashed it. I putted it so hard. It was probably 10 feet past, but I was like, I'm not leaving that short again.
Yeah, I'm not used to a driver. I'm not used to a putter sounding like a driver off the face, but you hit that hard.
Not quite as hard as when Cody was angry, but pretty hard.
And that hole was uphill the entire way.
It was.
And so that was kind of like our introduction to this course. Now, I'm trying to, we actually spent some time and put a ranking towards the golf courses that we've played in the past.
Yeah.
And we made it all complex and everything. And I decided this is dumb. This needs to be way more simplified. I think that the only question we need to ask ourselves, would you play there again?
Yeah.
I would.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. It was a great
Tomorrow.
course.
But I would not underestimate it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be much more strategic. I would think about the tee boxes a lot more. And I think having been around the track one time would help tremendously. That's a course that's always going to beat you up the first time you play it, way worse than a return trip, because a return trip, you're prepared for some of the holes. I mean, when we were talking about picking the line, for instance, off the first tee, you're literally aiming over a piece of red rock. You cannot see the fairway. And we naturally, I mean, if you go left, you stay on the red rock. You don't make it out. You ended up just in the left rough. Both Cody and I bailed far right, but that's just a fear of not knowing the exact line.
I hit it into a stream that I didn't know was there.
Incredibly difficult to judge. And if I had that tee shot to do over, I wouldn't take the same line that I took, but B, I also wouldn't hit driver.
Yeah.
There's no chance. I'd probably hit my 5-wood off of that.
It'd be a really long iron in on the green, but there's no chance anywhere
Hey,
else.
you could hit a 5-wood off for the second. There's a heck of a backstop, man.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's a cliff as a backstop. You physically can't go long.
And another example of that would be I think it was hole 8. We all hit, and you thought you had the perfect line by this tree. We didn't know that was the worst possible place to end up. It looked like the right line, and it just killed you for it. That without that knowledge, you would never know that. It looks like the line.
I was like, oh, I'm just going to hit it over this tiny little copse of trees. I'm just going to put it right over this gap. I'm going to end up here. Everybody was like, what a great tee shot. You're in great position. You were way up on the left on top of this hill. That's the line.
Yeah.
Way OB left is the line on that hole. And I hit it, and I flushed an 8-iron. and thought, oh, that'll be right up next to the green. I wasn't even halfway through the woods. That was way short.
I will say that as that course chewed on us a bit, I was a bit frustrated early on, but mellowed out pretty quick when it was apparent that nothing was going to happen.
Yeah.
You were boiling by the end of that round.
Oh, yeah.
And
A hole
you guys-
8, that green around, I'm pretty sure it was hole 8 when you had the chip that went under the.
Oh, that whole sucked.
That's when I was talking about. That you went to that. It looked
Oh,
like the right
yeah.
line. You hit it by that tree. It looked like the good line.
It was dead.
It was dead.
It was dead.
And then you ended up underneath a bench or something.
Well, no. So I hit a shot from my dead position in the trees, and it clipped the tree pretty hard. Ended up dead behind a shrub. Had to chip out from the shrub, and then I had just a little flip wedge up. But the lie was awful. I landed in this like clump of, and it's not. I don't want people to think that the course wasn't in beautiful condition. It was in really good shape. Every once in a while, your ball just lands a place where it physically can't be hit because it's sitting in a hole, and my ball was sitting in a hole, and so I was trying to get it, and I clipped it thin, and it went past the green, and then it landed underneath a park bench.
yeah.
I darn near broke my 52 degree trying to get it out from there because there was no way to swing it. If I'd had a pool cue, it wouldn't have been a problem. I could have got under the bench, dink, we'd have been fine.
We went over the green, I think 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
That was a tough
And then
hole.
it was like a 3 or a 4 putt. And,
yeah,
and the whole time
I was fuming.
you were turning red as a beet.
And to give some subcontext as well, people probably have been paying a little bit of attention to the handicap race. We know that you won the handicap race. I was sitting at an 18.5 when we went down there. I am currently at a 20.8
Oof.
as a result of that round and a subsequent later round that dropped my 81
See, but
off.
that's only because you dropped a really, really good
I dropped
score.
I dropped a decent score and a fantastic score, and I dropped it with a decent score and a catastrophic nightmare.
Yeah.
Mine went up a little bit as well. I don't remember how much it is now.
Man. So that was Dixie Red Hills. Great course. Would absolutely go back.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say, not a spoiler alert, but of all the courses we played down there this time, that's my favorite one.
Oh,
Really?
That was my
Interesting.
number one. I liked
Wow.
it better than the others we played.
So we played 18 holes on a different course that afternoon. It was pretty uneventful.
Do we name the course?
I mean, I think we talked about it
I think we
last
talked about it. I
episode
think
where
people
we
know
were
what
gonna
it
play.
was.
It's not a
Okay.
big deal.
So it's Southgate.
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 I just
Yeah.
think there just wasn't much to talk. It's a muni.
It's fine.
The layout of it is a little strange once you get to hole, I think, 7. You go you do this.
Knowing
weird-
where to drive was a challenge on that
Yeah.
course. It
I
was
don't know who designed
confusing.
the layout of that, but they need to
So,
go back to school.
And the course wasn't terrifically challenging, or it wasn't interesting. And I also was feeling a little bit bad because Eric was in quite a bit of pain at this point. He
Yeah.
had some knots in his back and chest from the long drive and golf, and so every single swing he's wincing in pain. It just wasn't as fun.
No, it wasn't. And I have to say, the interesting thing about it is that if I were golfing that course elsewhere, I'd be like, yeah, this course is fine.
It's fine.
It didn't feel like it was in St. George.
It wasn't vacation golf.
It felt like it was, a local muni, and it is a
It
local
was.
muni. That's fair, right? But
Yeah.
it didn't have the
have a little
steep
panache.
topography. It didn't have the beautiful red rock. It had some, but
well, and
not a ton. And
for example, hole 10, you get through the first 9, which is just a fine. There's some ponds and stuff. You get to hole 10, you're hitting up a hill, and there's some nice houses, and we're like, oh, this is nice. And then you turn around and you look, and it's got this magnificent view.
yeah,
Why are you playing uphill away from the view? It was so confusing.
and magically, and I don't know how this happened, the whole back 9
Was uphill.
plays uphill. How?
Yeah.
How do you go uphill both ways? But I swear, you're not playing down on any of those holes.
Back in my day, we played golf uphill both ways.
Uphill both ways.
But yeah, interesting course. I don't think I'd play there. again.
I would not. I mean, if someone said I booked you a time, let's go play. I would not say no.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go out of my way to play there again.
Now, and here's an interesting thing because they are municipal courses, they're less expensive than vacation golf that we're used to. I mean, the reasonable green fees, and we'll call it reasonable. But I'm going to tell you, our home course, we talk about all the time value for money. I legit think our home course is a better golf. I would pay those green fees to play our course.
Oh, yeah.
And that's quite disappointing.
If our local pro is listening to this, do ignore everything that John Paul just said. We are not paying more.
That's right. Your course is terrible. Please keep your prices where they are. In fact, lower them.
One thing that we did all notice, all 3 of the courses that we played used the same electric carts. They
were terrible.
Garbage. The brake would not.
So awful.
It wouldn't break. It wouldn't. The parking brake would never catch, and so it would shoot off. There was a couple of times when people were getting in the cart, it would just suddenly leap forward, and oh man,
whoever the golf cart salesman is for that area of town is just raking it in on a terrible product.
It's
an awful product.
But we the next day on Saturday we played 27 holes at Sky Mountain.
Yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed, and I especially enjoyed the 9 in the morning, partly because I shot a 42.
Yeah, it was a good round.
But it was a fun course. Now our 4th was kind of weird.
Yeah,
man.
Local guy.
Yeah, local guy at his, quote, home course.
Who knew nothing. His local knowledge was worth nothing. He didn't even know he thought the par 5 was a par 4. This is your home course? You don't know the difference? Come on, man.
I'm there looking at this, and I'm like, man, that's really far. This has got to be like a par 5. And the guy's like, no, it's a par 4. And I'm like, a 500-yard par 4? Are you kidding me right now? But I will say, on the very first hole, his second shot, this guy, bless his little soul.
Yeah.
He goes up to his ball. It's on the right rough, and he lines up and has his, I think it's like a 3 or a 5 wood, and he goes. I don't know if he just was intimidated by us because we try and look the golfy part. We had the golf pants and the nice polo and everything, and I don't know.
We'd all hit pretty decent
We
drives
hit decent
as well.
drives and everything. He tried to hit out of his shoes that quite literally his body went up in the air and he fell over on his face.
He spun around in a circle too.
Yep. Tried to hit a 3-wood.
I've
Ended
never
up
seen anything
on
like
his
this.
butt. I have never seen that.
It was a cartoon.
It really was. Well, and then...
And what do you do? What do you do? You can't...
Yeah.
There's no win. Cody and I are sitting there trying really hard not to laugh because that would be incredibly rude, right? And when somebody hits not a great shot, there's some go-to phrases you can go to, hey, we'll find it, we'll hit it again, or oh, that was a little thin, or something like that. What do you say? There's nothing you can say that will not embarrass the heck out of that guy. What he is, nice hustle.
Oh, you got the right club.
Yeah.
Well, I said...
That was the line.
I was like... I said... Well, I was trying not to laugh, and I said, shake it off, you got this. And then I turned around and started cracking up.
When he was on the ground, I lost it. I had to turn, and I was probably about 20 yards away, so I had some distance. John Paul was literally right there.
He was a foot away.
And I saw him turn away, and I was like, no, don't. If John Paul starts laughing, I'm going to lose it. This dude's going to beat us to death with his golf clubs for laughing at him.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt awful.
It was pretty bad.
And then I think it was 2 holes later, with the one with all the geese, he hit a first one and it was gone. He hit a second one and it looked like it was in the fairway, and we walked up, couldn't find it. I am convinced that one of the geese picked it up and took off with it.
Just made off with the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Canadian
should have
geese are
been able to
terrible.
find that. I am going to say that one of my favorite things about golf is that even when you're not golfing terribly well, and I had the lefts down there so bad. I know what I'm doing. I just can't make myself not do it. And so I lost a lot of tee balls, and I was struggling on the greens, and just my game wasn't where it was going to be. But playing beside someone like that can make you feel so much better. I've never missed the ball and fallen down onto my butt. This never happened. That's not in.
And we're not trying to be mean. It was in terms of banter. It was fine.
Yeah, he was
He's
a nice
enjoyable. He's a nice guy.
It was just, it was
wasn't
like a
that-
comedy.
It was a comedy of
You
errors.
could not have written a comedy about golf without that hit.
I don't know what his score was, but it was high.
It was
very,
very
very
high.
high.
Yeah. He
But
lost a lot of balls.
Seems like he had a good time.
So then we had lunch, we fed and watered ourselves,
Yep.
and then we made it back, and we went off the front, and we did skins for the first 9, right?
Yeah. And we got paired with an old timer. And I think, Eric, we have found someone with grumpier pants than John Paul.
He
Dude
definitely
was grumpy.
And we learned a lot of things about that course. It was a beautiful course. but it has some very, very slanted fairways. And we didn't realize, like, he kept telling us where to play. He didn't know. The places he was pointing out, I was like, oh, no. He had no idea. But very interesting typography.
But I will say that Eric, for the first half of the skins round, was on a burner unlike I've ever seen. And I want to talk about that for a moment because we ended up tying the skins game, you and I.
Yes.
So we tied with some strategic skin getting by Cody that kept me in it because if Cody hadn't won at least one of the skins, I had no chance of catching Eric. And he stole one from Eric and then I was able to come up and tie you. There wasn't enough time to catch you. If you can put together a round like the first 5 holes that you played of that skin match, your handicap's going to plummet. Like everything was working for you for those 5 holes.
Yeah, and what happened on the 4th hole was right off the drive, as I'm swinging, I feel that pain. I had this pain that was weird. It was coming down my collarbones and then right into my, sternum, I guess. And so it was the top of the sternum, like right where that connected. I don't know what was happening, but it would push it into there. And it felt like my sternum was going to pop out of my chest. It killed. And that's what I had on the first day. The second day, I was taking some medication to try and help with it. But by that, I'd say 6th hole, 5th or 6th hole.
It seemed to have worn off.
I was in a lot of pain. And from there and on, I was just trying to mitigate the pain for the rest of the day. And I played terribly, but I was mostly focusing on not hurting myself. And because of that, my golf shots were wild and very poor.
I know exactly what that feels like.
Yeah.
I can empathize.
Yeah.
But in terms of would I play there again at Sky Mountain? I would.
Oh yeah, I would play Sky Mountain again as well. It's a beautiful course. It's well laid out. The folks who run it are super friendly too. They were really nice.
Oh, on that 17th or 18th tee box where you've got the ravine off to the side with the waterfall.
That's 17.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the if you get a chance to play Sky Mountain and you get to the 17th hole, I wouldn't recommend playing that course from the tips, but when you get to the 17th hole, go to the tee box for the tips.
Just to at least look.
Just to look at the scenery because you can't see it from the forward tee boxes, from the white and the blues. You have to get to the tips, but there's a little waterfall that's cut like a natural arch. It's incredibly beautiful.
Yes,
very, very pretty.
breathtaking.
What are the notable moments of our trip?
I think we need to talk about equipment.
Yeah.
And then I think we need to talk about food, possibly in that order.
And then recreation as well.
That's true. So the night we get there, we hit up a golf shop, and due to our season-long competition of Most Improved Handicap Award that I won, I picked out a fancy schmancy new 58-degree Callaway Jaws wedge.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the chance to use it several times, and it's great.
The club is money, and it was on a spectacular sale because it's the last of its kind.
Yeah, it was a last gen.
And he also gave you a killer discount on it the last minute for no apparent reason other than we looked friendly.
We were just talking to him, and he was helping us in the bay, and I didn't know that he was like the manager of the store.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very kind. And
he was awesome.
He was helping Eric with the 52 back and forth for a bit. Mm-hmm. And he hooked us both up with an additional 15%.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you that I am terrified. And I'll tell you what, because I love my wedges right now more than any other wedge I've ever used. They are Callaway Jaws. They're Mac Daddy Jaw 4 and 5, I think, for the 52 and the 58. And I got to try the new Callaway. The Duo, I think, is the replacement. It is vastly inferior.
Yep.
I don't know what Callaway is thinking, getting away from the Jaws. There's probably some tech that I don't understand, but in every metric, feel, look, it is just not a good wedge. And none of the new gen wedges, I feel, have that same chippy, really grippy kind of feel that
we were even looking at spin on the...
We were.
Yeah. Did you try the Opus at all? I think they're trying to push people towards the Opus more.
I think they are, but I did try a few swings on it, but nothing really too heavy because I wasn't buying, so I try to be respectful about that. But I'm just scared because I know my wedges probably have a couple more years before the grooves are worn out. And when the grooves are worn out, I hope somebody develops something between now and then, because nothing that's on the market right now
They might-
from Callaway or Titleist really was doing it for me.
They might bring it back. The Jaws, you never know.
Your wedge, though, is incredibly tempting.
What did you end up with again?
Cleveland 52.
Oh, that's right. Is it the Zip Core?
It's a Zip Core.
Zip Core, yeah.
Yeah, those are nice.
That thing is nice.
Yeah, so they had me try out a few, but that one, it was like, I don't know, that Harry Potter moment. Every time I hit it, I was like, oh, that just feels so good off the face.
He had you try a handful, and every single time you kept going back to Cleveland.
It just felt so good.
And it was really funny because I was looking at I know Cleveland makes a great wedge. They've always been well known for making a great wedge. It's like what they specialize in. It's the best thing that they do. And so I know they make a good wedge, but somehow in the back of my mind, I think of the Callaways and the Vokeys as being like a tier higher than that. And I've been proven wrong, because your club it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful thing to look at. It's a beautiful thing to hit. The feel is there. The sound is there. Everything's great about it. But apparently it is also made of myrrh or something, because it was ridiculously expensive.
It was a little expensive, but I was prepared. I needed a new good club. So
I'm glad you got it,
And
because
it's magnificent.
you got to use it almost every hole. We
Yeah.
bring our wedges out, right? And
yeah,
Yeah, because we can't
Because we can't
to
hit
save
it
our
green.
lives.
it's true.
oh,
The
but
wedges were working
Oh, except for
hard.
the first hole on the, after we got back from lunch, I got on the green end too. That was pretty
It was such a textbook hole. It was beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
but let's
So-
talk food.
Equipment. So the equipment was good.
Yes.
Everything worked out.
Everything was great.
Yeah, the only thing I need to do with my 52 and my 60 now is to figure out how to get them up. No matter what, I'm hitting low trajectory shots, and I'm getting much better with distance, but I need to get the height so that they stop better.
Yeah.
So before we move on from equipment, I do want to just paint this picture for people, because we have Eric checked out of the store first, and he had this beautiful 52-degree Cleveland Zip Core, brand new, getting the VIP treatment. They're using the heat gun to take all the stickers off of it. He's going through that beautiful club buying experience. If you've never had that experience, you got to have that experience. Followed up by Cody, who goes up with his beautiful wedge. Same experience, gets a sweet discount off the manager. Great handshake, everything. I bought a box of teas.
Yep.
I felt a little left. There was a little FOMO.
No
going.
discount or handshake for you.
No, just some teas. Like, I hate losing teas, but I've lost too many.
Were
of
you
them.
feeling a little sad when we walked out of that store, seeing us with our new clubs? Were you just kind of like, I don't want a new club?
And
you
it's
don't need
stupid
one.
because I don't need a club. Nobody, I can't justify one. I'm happy with everything that's in my bag, and yet still, I was like, everybody else got a new toy, and I got teas.
I got a rock.
I got a rock. Oh, let's talk about
food. Dinner. Yeah. So we had the chance to eat out at a couple of awesome restaurants while we were there, and a couple of sleepers that were better than I think we thought. Maybe it was seasoned with hunger.
I don't know. The food was good.
But
So the first night, John Paul
demanded
pizza, and he said it on the podcast. So we looked for a few places. Where did we end up again?
The Pizza Factory.
Yeah, and that was,
doesn't sound very impressive in terms of like, let's go to the pizza factory.
No, it's not a great name. And it is also right next to the golf store that we went to, so that was kind of
It
fortuitous.
was convenient.
Yeah.
I have to say, if you have the chance to go eat at the Pizza Factory, do not sleep on the breadsticks. I know it's a little gimmicky because they actually put it on a stick. So they deliver it like a bouquet to the middle of your table, which is very fun to eat. And the pizza was good pizza. I wouldn't call it great pizza, but it was high tier.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It was pretty tasty. But for what it was cheap. Like, it was inexpensive for the quality of pizza. I would have paid more money for that meal than we paid.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And it was enough food that we ate on it for some time afterwards.
Yeah, we took it.
We all ordered our own pizzas, and then afterwards we looked at each other and we're like, what are we going to do with all this pizza?
Why did we do this?
We squoze it into our little mini fridge at our hotel.
Which was quite the feat of engineering, but we did find a way to make it work. We apologize if we forgot to put any of the shelves back in the fridge to the hotel.
I think we put it back.
My bad.
We also ate at a steakhouse, Longhorn Steakhouse, little chain. I don't know how many states that they're in. There's a handful of locations in Utah.
I know they're in Texas because I've eaten at them in Texas. I believe they're in California.
So maybe
I
it's
know
more
they're in
maybe it's
Utah.
more common than I thought.
That
And
was
it's
delicious.
it's a steakhouse. It was really good though.
They were on form because it, like all steakhouse chains, like I have steakhouses that I know that are like mom and pop steakhouses. There's one in Cedar City that's unstoppable. It's so good, and it's good
Oh, we
every
should go
single
try there
time that
sometime.
you go. Oh, it's amazing. It's up the canyon. But this with a chain, same thing with Texas Roadhouse and Longhorn. All of them, they have good locations and bad locations, and even those locations have good nights and bad nights.
Yeah,
And I feel like I've eaten Longhorn, and it's usually good, but this time it was great.
it was so good. All of us were very pleased with our meal.
Yeah, it was very tasty.
And
And then we got to see an awesome movie.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Tron Ares.
It might be too late to save this movie, but if any of our listeners were on the fence about Tron Ares, get off the fence. The movie's awesome.
This is a little aside because, everyone keeps saying, "Oh no, we don't want to see that movie. No one wants to see Tron. No one wants to hear about Jared Leto." It was a great,
Yeah,
enjoyable movie.
I thought Jared Leto did a fine job.
I think that where Disney has a problem is that I feel like just about everybody in the world has a Disney Plus subscription, especially if you have kids under the age of 12. And people are like, I'll just wait till it comes out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's a problem. But I will say, we knew this was going to be an event, so we bought the tickets in advance. We found what we thought was going to be the nicest theater down there, and it was nice. But we sprung and bought D-box seats, and we were all quite sore from a full day of golf, and so we turned the D-box like on full, and it was essentially like a movie and a massage. At the
Yes,
same
it was very
time.
nice.
It was pretty great.
Yeah. I was you couldn't recline, so I was a little worried at the beginning that I was going to slide out of the seat, but turned on that massage and it felt great.
Yeah, it was pretty great, and I know you can watch it. I don't care how big your TV is. I don't care how cool your home theater is. You're not going to see the same movie that we saw in that
Yeah,
theater.
that was so good.
That thing is beautiful. They spent a lot of time. There's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of details. And if you're a fan of the Tron franchise, everybody says, "Oh, there's plot holes. It's dumb." Well, watch the other two movies because Tron has always been dumb and it's always had plot holes, and critics have always hated Tron.
Yeah.
Like the first Tron movie, if you don't nostalgia love that movie,
It's a
it's a terrible movie.
Oh yeah. I love that movie.
Objectively,
but
it's
a bad movie.
not a good movie,
Yeah.
but you still love it. And some of the Easter eggs and callbacks and things just are so satisfying. And I don't know why people hate on that movie. I got 100% of everything I was expecting and more.
Yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it.
And then our last notable meal of the trip was the hibachi restaurant, Sakura.
Sakura.
They only have that in St. George.
Now I have to make an admonition, a confession. I have to confess something because on our way back we kind of talked about ranking restaurants and talking about our favorite meals. I ranked Sakura a little bit lower than some of the other restaurants that we ate down there. I don't think that's Sakura's fault. I'm just an idiot and I ordered too much food. And I actually ate enough that I physically hurt myself. That doesn't happen very often, but I was in quite a bit of pain after that dinner, and that has nothing to do with the restaurant. That is my willpower to stop eating delicious food is just too weak, and I ordered way too much, and I ate way too much, and I still had leftovers, and they were still delicious when I ate them later, but I just ordered and ate too much food, and it kind of ruined the dinner for me a little bit.
I think part of it could also have been the other two places were places we hadn't expected to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of that unexpected, this is
much
good.
better
I
than
wasn't
I thought.
expecting that. But Sakura, we knew what we were getting into. We had an expectation. And so they met that expectation, but it wasn't a surprise. And so I think that lowers your...
I think
your
I would
ranking.
have less appetizers next time so I
Yeah.
could enjoy the entree a bit more. But we also got our food delivered by the robot cat.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
It was
Robot
awesome.
cat waiters
Meow,
for the
meow,
win.
meow, meow,
That was
meow,
great.
meow, meow, meow.
On that side note, can I do a little tangent here really quickly? Because we were talking about like places that are sometimes good to eat and sometimes that are not good to eat.
No. All right, Eric. So what?
All right, I know where this is going. Donuts.
Rachel and I went yesterday. We had to grab a quick bite to eat, and we have a love-hate relationship with the Colonel, Kentucky Fried Chicken,
Okay.
because there's always a significant chance that you'll be ill. And all of them are very different locations, and some of them are relatively clean, and some of them are not, and some of them the service is great, and some of them are not.
Yeah.
We found the greatest KFC I've ever seen in my whole life. Every single person that we interacted with was incredibly friendly and knowledgeable. We got the food. Those are the best fast food chicken biscuits I have ever eaten. They
Wow.
were fresh. They were flaky. They were perfect. They were like the perfect epitome. And we got chicken strips as well. It's like they pulled the pictures that KFC puts on TV. They actually presented me with that food. It was
Wow.
delicious.
All
And
right.
and I was like, wow, I wish KFC were like this every time because
It'd be much
it
more
was, It was
enjoyable.
magnificent. So I'll share the location with you guys so you know where the secret really good KFC is.
All right. Have you ever been to the first KFC?
Yeah.
Yes, it's not really good.
It's not. I've been there several times.
Didn't they close down, actually?
No,
No,
they've
it's
made it
still
into
there.
a museum, and you can still order food there.
Can you?
Yeah.
They've remodeled
I watched
it.
a thing about it not too
Oh.
long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was our trip.
was-
Anything else of note to talk about on our
Yeah,
trip?
you totally forgot about desert golf.
Moving on.
We played some desert golf. It was fun, unremarkable.
We played some desert golf, and it was fun, and it was great, and I felt like we were going to be arrested the whole time.
Yeah.
Because apparently all of the BLM land around St. George potentially could be privately owned, and there's almost no way to tell the difference between privately owned
Yeah, we'll need to
land
do
and
some
BLM
research
land.
next time.
And so it was very difficult to find a place that wasn't someone's backyard, which
And
sounds crazy, but
Oddly enough, we're in the middle of nowhere, really. And we're playing, and suddenly this homeless guy walks up and he's
Yeah.
like, "You got any food?" And I was like, no.
No.
Where did you come from? Where are you going?
In the middle
Cotton-eyed
of
Joe.
the desert.
Yeah.
I just kind of like looked around and be like, how would I have food? Maybe he thought we were camping or something.
Maybe.
That
I don't
could
know.
be.
It was weird.
You know, if
And
we
and
had,
to
like, a
be fair,
campsite.
he maybe he has a podcast for people who live a transient lifestyle, and he's on there right now. I was like, I thought they were campers, and they had like golf clubs, and they were like rooting through the weeds as though there was a golf course there, but there wasn't, and I have no idea what they were doing.
Yeah. But next time we'll have to plan a little better, figure out a good location beforehand.
Yeah, love it. Great trip.
So that does it for our recap of the trip. We have since had 2 rounds.
I think just one, haven't we?
I think you guys played once without me because I was still
Yeah, no,
recovering.
Oh,
played,
we did.
played that round.
But I really think that we can talk about last week's round because it was our last regular round of the season.
I loved it. It was an eventful round. We played off the back, and I feel like I played decent. I didn't play bad. And then we get to hole 7. Yeah, 7. And at this point, we pull out the birdie balls. Not the
It
birdie
got-
balls.
the
It
glow in the
got
dark.
dark.
It got really dark. The glow in the dark balls, and that made it. That hole was already really long.
When we got there to the course, we like walked in and the guy's like, "Yeah, what can I help you with?" And we're like, "We want to get out there." And he's like, "Are you parked outside the gate?" "Yeah." "Okay."
Yeah.
They're really cool there.
Yeah. So it was a fun round. We got to that hole. It gets dark, so we pull out the glow in the dark balls and we play, and it's a little more difficult. I mean, of course it is. We finally get to the green, and I was on the green, but I was kind of far away, so I putt over, and then everybody else is putting, and then I line up for my second putt, and on my backstroke, I hear John Paul and Parker just scream.
They were girly screams.
They were girly screams. What happened, John Paul?
Well, they decided that it was the appropriate time of the day to water that green, and we got sprayed. There's a lot of sprinklers. It's a big green, and there are many, many sprinklers, and so you didn't get hit initially.
No.
It sprayed Parker nearly in the face. Like he was, ah!
But I think also it was the noise of the
Yeah,
because it was
scary.
it was
very-
silent. We
Yeah,
were
it
the
was-
only people in like a quarter-mile radius. There was,
And it was
nobody
lovely
around us.
weather. It was a very enjoyable moment.
It was.
Right up until the screams.
Well, and Parker was a little disheveled because we were playing with our electronic glow in the dark golf balls. We bought these golf balls last year. They have LED lights in them. When you hit them, there's a G-force switch of some kind, and it causes them to illuminate and glow like a little, bulb. And I've got different colors and everything. And Parker's ball, I didn't know this, but the batteries in them, cheap Chinese garbage, they sort of degraded faster than we thought they would, and so they're at end of life. And so his ball, they're supposed to remain illuminated for about 5 minutes after you hit them. His was staying lit for like a minute.
Yeah.
And so he would like whack it and then run as fast as he could so he could see where it would land, so he'd have some hope of knowing where it was. So when he got to the green complex, he was like, because he'd been chasing this ball.
And the temperature
all the way
had
up,
dropped,
and it
so it's
was
like that
freezing
sharp
cold.
air.
Yeah.
And then he got sprayed right in the face by a sprinkler. Poor Parker.
My golf ball glowed pretty good. I think
So
yours
did-
did too.
So did mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just poor
Lasted pretty
Parker
good.
that was pretty unfortunate in that regard.
But we lost that time of day due to daylight savings, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
daylight savings was the week before. We had to roll back.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know, are you guys pro or con daylight savings?
Oh, I'm against the time change. I don't care which way they go. Just pick one.
I'm against time change deeply, and I know that we've actually agreed on this as a country. We've actually passed legislation that said we were going to get rid of the change, and then we got hung up because people bicker about which one do you keep. Do you keep
Yeah.
standard time or do you keep daylight savings time? I will take either one if they will just stop changing the time.
Yep.
But I have a slight preference for daylight savings time because it extends my golfing
So
season. in
we
the
just
afternoons.
came off of daylight savings, right?
Correct.
Is
Now
that-
we're on standard. So this is standard time. And we don't really get our golf season back until we get back on daylight savings time. So I equate daylight savings time with the golf season extension, and so that's
Yeah.
why I like it. But I honestly I hate the change.
It's so bad. I'd prefer, not daylight savings as well. For me, it's because one, I have kids, and people are like, "Oh, you need the more daylight for dropping kids off at school," and I get that argument, but it gets dark enough anyway that it doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything, and my kids would much rather have light in the evening so they can get out and play
Yeah.
after school rather than getting home and it immediately being too dark.
So you're pro daylight savings then? Because we just turned it off.
We just turned off daylight savings. so
I'm
we
pro
really
daylight
like
savings.
pro-
Whatever.
What about you?
I would also like to have it a little. I would prefer it later in the day than
Mm-hmm.
earlier. It's a little depressing, and my son did, even just today as we were trying to kind of wrap things up and getting dinner kind of out of the way, he's like, "It's dark. It's like bedtime already." And we're like, "Well, not quite." And he's like, "But it's bedtime when it gets dark out." I was
Yeah,
like,
that
well,
could be very
that's
confusing.
not how that works, man.
I've always hated it.
Yeah, we're getting to that lovely time of the year where I get up and it's dark.
And then you get
And
home
I
and
get
it's
home
dark.
And it's
And it
dark.
gets dark,
And the
yeah.
only time I ever get to see the sun is when I manage to make it out on the playground with the kids at recess.
Sad is a real thing, man.
There was a while there where I worked at a company and I worked in a room that didn't have windows. And so, and it was during the winter. I was so depressed because I would go in, it was dark. I worked in a dark room that had one light. And then I'd go home in the dark and I was like, I don't see any daylight. I don't see any light except for this one light bulb while I'm working. And then I go home and it's dark. I hated that. That was probably the most depressed I've ever been.
Terrible.
Maybe I'm a lizard. Maybe I need to
Maybe
build
we're all lizards.
Maybe I need to build a room in my house that just has a giant red rock and a heat lamp, and I could just go lay on the rock and absorb heat.
I could
and
see you
sun.
totally doing that.
Yes. Ah.
I actually had built for my office that didn't have any windows. I took an old laptop LCD panel, and this is back when I was working IT work. I took 4 of them, got rid of the display, but kept the backlight and wired them together. So it was like an inside, light window,
I
and
could totally
and
see
put
you
a
doing
put a
that.
frame around it.
That's really cool. It's also like it's kind of sad. Like,
Dystopian a little bit.
yeah. Ooh, the sun.
Yeah.
Can you tell that we're depressed that winter is coming?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Winter is coming.
Winter is
Winter's
here.
here.
Well, let's brighten it up with a
Talk nerdy to me. I was wondering
Yeah.
where you're going there. Sorry, I
talk
was
nerdy
confused.
to me.
It's like, why are you
So
looking at me like
The
that?
question that I have that I wanted us to reminisce. We've been talking about some really good food on our trip. And, what food is just, I love it. So what video game food do you wish were real?
Video game food. I got a few. I have actually thought about this
Uncle
before.
Vlad's wall chicken doesn't count, John Paul.
Why not? That's a perfectly viable thing. It's Uncle Vlad's. I want to be able to crack a whip in the air and have like a Costco roasted chicken land on the ground.
Because roasted chicken already exists.
Yeah, but it's
You
the
can't crack a whip.
convenience. It's the convenience of summoning it from a sconce in my house. Like
Maybe there's a chicken behind that sconce, so let me find out.
every time there's a chance. Every time there's a chance.
For people that don't know what we're talking about, in the original Castlevania, there's some hidden chicken.
Was it Castlevania or the second one? I think it's the second one.
Is it second Castlevania? But when Richter hits the kind of a wall, and behind it,
The
it opens
sconce.
up, and there's a roasted chicken to restore your health. And it's just kind of became a thing, a little bit of a meme. Uncle Vlad's wall chicken.
I think Uncle Vlad's wall chicken is a strong. It's a strong.
Is that where you
contender.
were going to go? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I have
initially.
another one, but that one's a good one.
Go ahead.
I think in Kingdom Hearts 2, the blue sea salt ice cream actually sounds good. I would like
I
to
think they
try
make
blue
that.
sea salt ice cream. I think it'd be tasty.
This one's kind of a weird one, but in Final Fantasy IX, there Steiner, the knight, he likes these special pickles. I'd like to try the pickle because the people are like, "Oh, they're the best pickles in the world," and everybody freaks out about them. And I'd be interested to try that pickle.
I know we're all fans of Portal 2.
Yeah,
One of the best things about Portal 2 is
I'm a fan of all portals.
is the narration of the previous CEO of the country where he's talking about, like, they say when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Not me. I make a combustible lemon launcher and burn this house to the ground. And
I don't want your dang lemons.
I don't want your
What am I
dang
supposed to do with
lemons.
these?
So apparently there was a shoot-off game later where one of the weapons was a combustible lemon launcher.
Oh, nice.
So I think lemonade made with combustible lemon launcher might have some power, might have some pull.
See, in your second one that you went with, John Paul, from Kingdom Hearts 2, I was just thinking of the original Kingdom Hearts, the Pao-Poo fruit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the star fruit
that
if you
eat-
share it with somebody, your destinies are entangled together.
Yeah,
I just wonder if it would taste good because it looked fun.
That's true.
I didn't think about that one.
I don't think I would eat anything that Mario eats.
Yeah, the mushrooms.
I hate mushrooms.
I'm
like
okay
the
with
only thing
mushrooms,
that-
but those mushrooms are they look poisonous.
Like the only thing worse than a mushroom would be a bigger mushroom.
Yeah.
He's eating a mushroom the size of his head.
It'd be good
That's
for
a
a
lot
burger,
of
like
mushroom.
a portobello kind of thing. What about you, Cody? What do you have?
I already said the Pao-Poo fruit.
Was that it?
That was kind of the main one that I was thinking of.
One of my
okay.
favorite mechanics in Breath of the Wild is cooking up various meals. And some of the meals that you cook up
Oh,
sound
yeah.
pretty darn good. Like
Well, I mean, they're
The-
based off real life.
I
most
would
of them.
really, I would really like one of the hacks in that game that almost breaks it is the Hardy Dorian,
Oh yeah.
because it restores your health plus, and
Oh,
no matter how damaged you are. But you take some prime meat and some Hardy Dorian, cook it up. I'd try that. That sounds delicious.
Have you had durian?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's not great.
Okay.
I know.
Along those same lines, the Mighty Banana,
Oh,
making a Mighty Banana meal and then hitting your driver and just seeing it sail would be incredible.
well, if you're gonna go that, then going back to Mario Brothers, a 1-up mushroom before you're about to do something really stupid.
Well, John Paul just said that he hates mushrooms.
I
He would
know,
need-
but if it means that it has an extra shot at life.
That's one of the best T-shirt memes I ever saw in my whole life. Is some guy just walked around with a black T-shirt and it just had the 1-up mushroom on the front, and on the back it said "Get a life." I was like, that is a great T-shirt. That was fantastic.
You know what else I think that we would have to try if video game foods were real?
What's that?
We would have to have a root beer from Tapper.
Oh yeah, I was actually
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
about that earlier.
I mean, I know that the original I think was like a Budweiser game, but then they rebranded it to root beer.
Ooh, I've got one. It would be an eating challenge. You know, like those impossible eating challenges.
Oh, see how much
beer?
of Tapper
No.
drink you can
Did you
drink.
see the size of the Burger Time burger?
Oh,
The thing's huge. We could share that thing for ages. Like, whole family could come over and eat on one of those Burger Time burgers.
Yeah.
is there any food that you would not have? Dubious food from Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild?
No,
Oh, yeah,
no
It's a no-go.
dubious food. No good. People eat weird things in video games. There's a lot of video game food that I would not touch.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch in Skyrim that are like they've got that cinnamon roll or something. That would be something I'd eat. But again, you can eat pretty much anything in those games, and some of them will make you sick.
I find it interesting in not just even in video games, but even going into RPGs and role playing games, how fast protagonists are to put physiologically altering chemicals in their body, drinking things that they have no idea what it'll do. Ooh, I found this purple potion behind this thing. Let's drink it and see what it does.
Well, maybe that's why they
Oh,
can
look, I have dragon wings. I would be deeply disturbed if I drank something and then physically changed color. You know, like
and
Have
it's,
you ever
it's
played-
why you're not a hero, John Paul.
Have you ever played Fallout?
I have
Yes.
not.
In that one, they have chemicals and stuff that you can put in yourself, and some of them, if you just put in whatever, it'll make you feel like your guy will be all for a little while.
There was a game, it was really popular for a while. You're a dwarf and you do mining.
Oh,
Deep Rock Galactic.
Galactic, yeah.
So before the round, you can hit up the bar.
Oh,
And
yeah.
depending on what you do, depends on if your character kind of, if you overindulge, then the entire round that you play, the screen is all wobbly. And it
Oh,
makes
yeah,
it
and
impossible to play.
In Fallout 3, one of them, you know the guy that played, what's his name? Father?
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. What?
He's
Renum.
from
Renum from
Renum
IT Crowd.
from IT Crowd. He also plays in What We Do in the Shadows. He's
Yeah.
one of the primary characters there.
He voices one of the robots in there, and if you go and there's like a room you can go in, and he's talking to you, and you can drink there's some random substance there, and he's like, you should drink that, and then you just walk over and drink it, and he's like, I can't believe you actually put that in your body. You are some kind of stupid, and then you fall over dead or something. It's so funny.
Video games that catch you with their gotchas like that is awesome.
Did you ever see Real Genius?
No.
80 movie, Val Kilmer.
Oh no.
One of my favorite scenes in that is he's got a beaker and he's stirring it up and he's like, here, try this. The guy just takes it and takes a bite of it. He's like, it's not bad. What is it? He's like, I don't know. I found it in the lab.
Oh gosh.
The guy just starts spitting out. He's like, relax, it's yogurt. It just put yogurt in a beaker, but it always reminds, I don't know. I found it in the lab.
He stole a bagel.
Where did this notion come from? Because if you think of the history of video games, you eat something for health, or you have the health potion, right? The health potion is a solid play. And I think of the original Diablo, where you have your health potion and your mana potion to kind of rejuvenate you.
Well, and then you had games like Tekken where they had a story mode, and they had to think of some way to heal them, and so they just had chicken randomly.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Well, and it is a necessary mechanic because healing in the real world, human bodies are incredible. They can heal themselves from almost anything, but it takes a tremendous amount of time. Video games would be incredibly boring if you had to take 6 months off after major surgery because you dislocated your shoulder because you missed that platform. There has to be some kind of immediate healing effect, but it does make you pine for those same abilities in the real world. If there were a fruit I could eat that would restore all the muscle mass I lost over the last 2 years, that'd be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well,
I just,
pound some
"Ooh,
apples."
hey, look, here we go.
And then you have other games that do just kind of the first aid kit,
Yeah.
which apparently the white symbol with the red plus sign,
Yeah.
a lot of video games that use it is apparently against the Geneva Convention.
Wait.
That's interesting.
Because you're not allowed to use that symbol.
That symbol? Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting. I will tell a quick video game story about this, though, because growing up, now Dune is now considered cool. It wasn't. It was desperately uncool when I was young. Like I read the Dune books.
Oh,
when
yeah, I did too.
Yeah, and so I'm familiar with Dune.
Oh, man, the 1980 Dune movie was painful.
But one of the things in Dune is that when you kill someone in battle, you get to harvest the water from their body.
Yeah.
And so when we used to play video games, we played, I think it was maybe Call of Duty. It was one of those we'd do LAN party games and we played Call of Duty. But when you would kill someone in the multiplayer mode, they would transform into a health pack that would restore your health.
Okay.
And so they would turn into, or they would drop a med kit, and then you could take that to restore your health. And my friend Rand and I, we got into the habit of saying, "Ha ha! Your body's water is mine." so we would go around and do it. It stuck for a long time. So I still find myself when I play a video game, whenever, "Oh, your body's water is mine."
Man.
That's funny.
I just wanted to talk about food, man. You're talking about harvesting bodies.
Harvesting body's water.
It's
There's all kinds of moisture in that body. You can't let it go to waste.
Well, on that cheery note,
It's time for another birdie.
Birdie Bev, time for another Birdie Bev.
And looking at it, we've got the classic Virgil's.
Well, the kind of classic.
we were missing this segment from our last episode, weren't we?
Well, yeah, we were in the
Because
car.
we were on the road.
Yeah, we ate gross pickle candy instead.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this then, because that was gross.
That was really
Yeah.
bad.
This
If you haven't listened to that episode,
gonna
listen
kind of
to it.
only go up. Now, this is not the diet Virgil's root beer. This is the standard Virgil's root beer. And in days past, before the podcast, older versions of this root beer ranked extremely highly.
Yeah.
in our opinion, but there's since been a formula change. So we're going to
I
give
think
it a
it
shot.
happened. I think the company got sold or something, or it's new ownership. It's pretty well known that the formula has changed, so we'll have to give it a go.
Nice dark color.
It's got a nice like mist that comes out of it when you open it. That's fun.
I have my rating.
I have mine.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Take it away, Cody. What do you got?
I gave it a 6.
Not bad. Not bad.
I gave it an 8.
Oh,
Yeah. I split the difference. I'm at a 7.
okay.
I gave it a straight 7. So go ahead and explain your 6 because you're at the low end of the scale.
Yeah,
He's judgy.
I don't know. No, I'm usually way more
Oh, lenient. Yeah, that's
lenient, but maybe I'm stuck on what Virgil's used to be, because this is a shell of what its former self.
Yeah, but what it
And-
used to be was a 10.
Yeah, and so I had that, and I was like, "This is." I kept waiting for something, and it didn't. It just didn't do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sticking with my 6.
Do you want to know my 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my thought process was, it's good and it's readily available. A lot of the other ones that are really good, we have a hard time getting a hold of. So that pushed it up, the availability.
That's funny, because I would never go out of my way to find this.
We wouldn't have to.
Well, and I'm saying, like, if I had a choice of this, I would grab like an A&W or a mug over it.
Oh, not even close.
I would.
That's an interesting take because I thought I was going to rank this lower, like a 5 or a 6, because I remember drinking it when it first came out, and I was like, oh, what the heck did they do? So I understand it is a shadow of what it used to be. It's smooth. It has really nice notes. It doesn't have the same richness and depth that it once had, but there's shadows of those flavors still in there. There's a little bit of anise. There's a little bit of caramel in there. There's a little bit of vanilla
Yeah,
that's
I
still
agree.
See, and
doing, but there's no harshness to it. It's really smooth, and I know that you like a more sharp carbonated root beer, and I like a more mellow, smooth root beer, and so that might account for some of our difference of opinion on this one. But
maybe I'm
that was lovely.
fine with the smoothness. You say that there's some anise flavor or licorice. I didn't get any of that. It was all caramel
Oh,
to me.
I got
It was
lots of
very
anise.
caramely.
Maybe it's because you had the
It
first
is much
drink.
sweeter than it once was.
Yeah,
That's-
they've
Yes,
added a lot
for
of
sure.
sugar.
And I feel like the old one used to be kind of a sipping.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course, the only hint that we get is what's in here is natural flavors.
Does it have what was it, organic water or whatever?
Sparkling filtered water, cane sugar, natural flavors, caramel coloring, and citric acid.
Yeah, no organic water. I demand that my water be organic.
So back when
Who was that? Was
I
that
can't remember.
was that Judge
one
for
of those
yourself?
Pretty
I
funny.
can't remember one of those. So the old Virgils, I remember I used to get it in the like keg,
Yeah.
and I remember
Oh yeah, they had the kegs back in the day. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
and
That was
I
a
don't know,
good marketing scheme.
maybe I'm being overly harsh, but I just don't think I would grab this off the shelf
Now,
given almost any other option.
here's a perfect metaphor that perhaps will shed some light on the situation, because I'm looking at the label on this root beer, and it's clearly Virgil, whoever he is, and he's got 2 mugs of root beer, and he's standing in front of a keg, flanked on either side by 2 children, one of whom is a girl holding a kitten, and the other one is a boy celebrating. If I recall correctly, the previous version of this, he was not flanked by children. He was in fact flanked by women.
Yes.
Am I incorrect?
No, you're right.
So perhaps this is a censored, child-friendly root beer.
Yeah, the first thing I get is the anise.
Now, without disclosing too much information, I have just finished my basement. It only took me 8 years from when I got my building permit to when I got my final inspection finished, but it is finally complete.
Golf
There's a
club.
big, magnificent sofa down there, and soon to be a ridiculously large television. And there's a dedicated fridge in the basement, and
Ooh,
the plan is to keep it stocked with various root beers. So it's good to know that you and I can have this high-class root beer
We can
in
keep
a
the
nice glass bottle, and I'll keep a
mug for
A&W in the.
Here's the
the
joke.
fridge.
John Paul is such a good host that he literally would have the gamut of choices available.
It's true. Do love a root beer, though. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of For the Record, and thank you so much for hanging with us throughout this season. We so appreciate you tuning in. We're sorry that our golf season is coming to a close. We'll still be in touch, though.
Yeah, to clarify, this is not the end of season 1 of For the Record,
No.
but there will be a slight change to our release schedule.
Yes, so we will be continuing the quest for better golf in the confines of Eric's Garage. We'll have an upcoming episode where we'll explain our sim in great detail and our sim setup, and perhaps even have some video that we can share with you of some sim action. But we will be slowing down. There won't be as much narrative to share, but we still love getting together and faffing around. So we'll probably be releasing an episode monthly. And look for us through the off season. We'll call it the monthly off season episodes, and then when spring comes back and we can get back out on the course, we'll hit the ground running and get back to our regular release schedule.
We'll have some goals that we want to try and hit during the winter of chasing speed or accuracy, and
I have some ideas.
We'll be
I
able
have some thoughts.
we'll be able to report on some of that on the podcast so that we can do that. But also, it gives us a chance to explore maybe kind of some of the more nerdy side of things.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
sounds good.
Yeah, you bet. So, thank you again so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the off season. Please follow us on our socials, and we'd love to hear from you. Send us some comments and questions. We would love to, especially in the off season, to respond to your questions. If you have anything that you're wondering about our season and
The
our
question
antics, we'd love to hear it.
The question for today's episode is: tell us why Eric is your favorite of the three of us.
Oh wow. What's your favorite moment that we've talked about this season? How's that?
That would be a good question.
What segment was your favorite?